Hello and welcome. It's Vamp here. So, I was gonna do some more Days Gone yesterday, but ended up getting real busy, and then I was gonna try to do something this morning, but yeah, I don't know, it wouldn't let me stream it all for some stupid reason. I kept getting this error code, and then when I did some research, because I thought, I had this problem once before, and then I was like, wait a minute, I can't remember how I fixed it, right? So I was like, let me look it up. Let me do a little bit of research. I had to do some digging to find it though, because I actually had to go into, um, because here's okay. So to better explain it, here's how confusing it is. So on the system itself, you could search it on the PlayStation like .com or whatever, because it'll say like press triangle to like search it on PlayStation.com, and it pops up like nothing, right? But when you look it up on like say your phone or computer or something, there's actually something on there on a PlayStation website, and it actually says that you could try these couple things. Which I was just like, you know what? I've done a couple of these things already. I don't feel like trying the other ones. I'll just do a full initialization to it instead of just a regular initialization, and I'll explain to you why here in a minute. Um, so what had happened is it wouldn't let me stream at all. Like I just kept trying, I kept trying, I kept trying. It was just like no. So what I did was I saved my um, data from the storage to like PlayStation's online thingy or whatever, and it just downloaded it from that. And um, I I found it kind of weird because when I looked up the error code, like everybody seemed clueless. And I'm like, what? Like I know one way to fix it, but maybe there's a couple of things I could try, and I tried a few things. I tried restarting the modem and router because the best way to actually do it, the correct way to restart your modem and router, is to unhook your modem and router's power, not from the wall necessarily, just from the back of the modem and router, and then 30 to 60 seconds or so. I mean, you can go up to a couple minutes if you like. But once you hit like a minute or two, you're fine anyways. But 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever you want to do. 2 minutes, your choice. You know, just long enough to where it can actually, you know. But when you plug it back in, you want to plug the modem in first and let it come back online. Let it say it's connected and all that stuff, and the internet and whatever. Once it's completely back on, then you plug the router back in. That is the actual correct way to do it. Um, I tried that. I tried restarting the PS4. I tried a few different things really, but I just tried some stuff that I thought, okay, well maybe this will work, but it didn't seem like anything was working. So I'm like, you know what? I need to, look a little bit deeper, into this error code. So I found something that was on their thing, and it said, well, you could, initialize the PlayStation, and that should fix it. And if it doesn't, I think it said like if it doesn't, then you want to plug in the original hard drive that actually came with that PlayStation, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because it's like, what? Like, what if that thing broke? You know. But I mean, it should be fine though. You should be fine on the original hard drive to come with it, just because of the fact that they tend to last friggin' forever. But um, the reason why I did a full initialization on it though, and people need to understand this, so just initializing your PlayStation may not fix some problems, because it's just quickly deleting some stuff, and um, you know, it's just doing it quickly, right? The whole point of a full initialization though is to completely wipe the hard drive to the point to where you can't just take special tools and software and stuff to get that information back. So essentially, if you do a regular initialization and just delete the stuff, it'll still have the information that was previously on the hard drive, okay? Now, if you do a full initialization, it will not have that previous information. So, essentially, the way you want to fix problems like that, where if something's really not working, you want to do a full initialization because it will get rid of the information or whatever it was causing those problems, and then it will, you know, it'll have this new information on there. So, it's just sort of one of those things where you want it to fix the problems, right? So you clearly want to do a full initialization to make sure that any of the problems that are there should not be there after the fact. If you do a full initialization, but if you don't do a full one, then some of the problems may still be there, because all it essentially is doing is, imagine this. So if you go to your stores, like say if I close this game, I'll go to my stores, just delete a game, right, and then reinstall it. It's essentially that if you do a regular initialization. And what that means is you don't even have to reinstall it. That information is still technically there in the hard drive. Now, the full initialization is where if the game is deleted, it's like that information was never there in the first place. It's like it never existed. So that means that it's almost like it was never installed ever before. It's like a brand new hard drive, essentially. And it also helps with doing a full initialization can also help with like maybe some performance issues that you may have been having. Maybe you were having, I don't know, texture pop-in issues that you didn't have previously, but then, like say you had, let's say you put two PS4 Pros next to, side by side, right? One of them has like texture pop-in on, on the characters or something real bad, and then say the other one doesn't have that issue, and they both have the same hard drive. Well, if you do a full initialization on the one that does have that issue, it may fix that issue. And, the list just goes on, really. But yeah, we're going to get into it, but I just wanted to kind of explain myself a little bit on why it took so long. But yeah, I got pretty busy yesterday, and it was a pretty long day. I still got to download some stuff on here, to be honest, but it's one of those things where it's like I want to make sure this is working first, because I don't want to download everything else and then turn around and, it's having like the same issue or something. You know what I mean? But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll pop it in here and there and talk to you guys, and yeah. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm not sure what had happened with why it was doing that. I don't know if it's because, I did move some stuff around and whatnot, but I'm not sure if it had that, if it was because of that, or I swapped a different cable, or what it might have been, but,
Okay.
Deacon.
How's the bike business going, Sandy?
But yeah, I'll pop
Okay,
in
then.
here and there, and I still talk to you guys and
See you
everything. I
around.
just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I know it took a minute,
Yeah.
but
You're gonna hurt your
Yeah.
back.
I know that every time you kill Fruckers on here, you do seem to get XP in whatever area that they're in. So it's like, since this is Hot Springs, if I'm around this area and I kill Fruckers, it does give me XP for this area. So I'm so freaking close, though. I thank God that, it's fixed again, and don't have to worry about that right now. Or, I mean, sometimes when you do that, you may not ever have to worry about it again, because it might just be permanently fixed, unless you end up doing something that screws it up again. But it should be perfectly fine now. Because this is actually the first time I've had this issue on this PS4 whatsoever. But like I said, I mean, I swapped a cable out. I mean, I moved some stuff around. It could have been something to do with that, or could have just been like, we just don't want to work today. But it was this error code. It just wouldn't connect to the server for some reason every time I tried to stream. And I'm like, dude, what is going on with this freaking thing? That's kind of screwy. And I couldn't actually figure out, what did I do before, right, to fix that issue? And it just kept driving me crazy. And I was like, you know what, I'll just go in there and look. That's what I did. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one and the meat one. Because with double plants and double meat and all that stuff, I mean, you can really benefit from that stuff. So
Look around.
it's decent. It's nice.
Deacon, how's it going?
What are you... Okay.
Good choice.
Baby.
Find me if you need anything else. I'll see you later, man.
I don't know. I don't think that would be part of Hot Springs, though. That's the only thing that sucks about that. I don't think that would be part of Hot Springs. Do I have any bounty?
Well, how's my favorite bounty hunter? Hey, Mercer. How's life?
Actually have enough we can start salting some away.
Should.
Don't have them either. Okay.
Here. See you, Deke.
I wonder if the hordes actually, like regenerate type. Like you go in, you destroy a horde, but after so long, it's like, I don't know, like another horde gets in there or something.
Fuel can. Needed this. Good.
Blow it up!
Let's go look.
Out here, there ain't nothing but murderers and drifters and raiders.
Well, that's different.
Who's out there?
What the hell?
Well, it's not freakers, but
Look out!
well, it's not freakers, but looks like Marauders may have taken over though. So I guess it does kind of do what I was thinking it does, except for it's not exactly another set of. It's not like another horde. It's just apparently Marauders.
Okay.
Help! Help! I need help!
Okay.
I got this. Hang on. Hey, it's not safe out here in the shit. I know where there's a camp that...
I'll go. Where? Show me!
See, it's hard to want to send them to Hot Springs. And I think they did that on purpose because, one, you just get a couple hundred camp credits. Like, that you don't get no XP for them at all. And, people just... Plus, I think it's mainly just kind of the... I don't know, I guess it's just sort of how they portray the hot springs camp. You know, where it's more of just like a straight up work camp. They sort of beat on their people, and it's not exactly a Greek camp. So it's just more or less the way they portray them. So yeah. Ooh, let's see. I'll go to Copeland actually.
Peaceful Lake. Mark Copeland. It's safe there.
Thank you so much for stopping. I was so dead. I was never getting out of there. Thank you.
Yeah, let them know it was Deacon St. John. They know me. Okay, keep running. Stay out of sight.
The heck? I'm still kind of confused on what, like, if you can do anything with that. I mean, it's just weird.
Finally. Jesus. Okay.
Deer crossing. Some things never change.
Hey, fellas.
Bam.
Bound. Got you.
Surprised he didn't hear me shooting his buddies over there. And then the one lady. Although there's not much of a lady left in there though. Man.
Damn it! Breaker!
Where? Breaker? See, it's the Nero Intel. 4 out of 7, but there isn't really. Unless I gotta drive around and just randomly run into it, I guess. Holy crap. Whoa, hey. Wait a minute.
Shit.
And I guess I'll do some other storylines till we get called back here. Yeah, we'll do that one. The power turned back on. Funny way of having you still go the same freaking way essentially. I feel we want to take you around this stuff instead of going through it. Certain spots like this kind of makes sense. What game has the best like GPS system? You know, where you see like they like on here where it's like the yellow line shows you kind of where to go, and like how it does on Grand Theft Auto. I wonder what game does it the best. Oh yeah, and I also fixed my title of the Days Gone, parts, because it did say PS4, not PS4 Pro, and I was like, wait a minute, I want to be a little bit more accurate here, a little more specific, because if you play it on a base PS4, you don't have the exact same experience. You're going to be kind of disappointed, like, oh, well, why does his work so good? Why is his work so decent? My clearly sucks. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. I had this one base PS4 Slim that when I played this game on, it like had this real bad slowdown to it. But then the other base PS4 Slim didn't. They both had the exact same hard drive and everything. It's like, what? And the funny thing is the one that had that problem was newer. By like a year. It was a year newer. Still the exact same everything, but it was a year newer. It's like, wait, what? That makes no sense. How's it gonna be newer but play worse? I'm so confused about that one. And at that particular time, it was I don't know if it was this copy. I've had this copy for a minute, but yeah, it might have been this copy. It was either this copy or the previous copy that I had, but I don't think it was like a real old copy or nothing. Like an older copy of it. I mean, they're all 2019 copies. I'm just saying, like, you know, a different copy essentially. You could buy 2 copies of the same game, and one might perform slightly different. And because we are playing straight off the disc, it's not, you know, with any updates or anything, so. But I don't think this game performs that bad, though. And funny enough, that glitch where you drive through here and you, like, fall through the, through this little bridge here, never seem to happen on the, like, straight off the disc. Now, one of the updates after this one, which the one I seen that had that issue was like 1.02. I think that one had that issue. But, like, if you fully update it, I don't think it does, but if you fully update it, or if you don't update it at all, I don't think it has that issue
Deacon
at all.
St. John, how have you been?
Because every copy of this game that I
You go
have
through a lot of
played
this
with
shit, yeah?
no updates
Okay.
has never seemed to have that glitch
Should have
where
new
you
shit
just
later.
fall through
Stop
that,
by.
so funny enough, but I did have one where I did one of the updates, and it wasn't like the, you know, it wasn't, at the time it was fully updated, but not like the 1.81 update, I think is what it is now. It's not that update, but it's like one of the previous updates to that one, and it had that issue, and then the 1.02 obviously had that issue too, because I think Digital Foundry or somebody was showing it. I think it was IGN. I think it was IGN where they did like a review, and it was a copy of it, but they had access to the day one patch, I think it was, which is funny because I don't even know if that is the day one patch, the 1.02. I don't know if that's the day one patch or not, but I know that one is screwed up to where you can actually fall through that part of the bridge here and stuff. But yeah, right off the disc, the default is just 1.00, and if I remember correctly, all the reviewers, like IGN and all of them, when they played this game before anybody else did and played it before it came out, it was the 1.02 version. So I don't think they were playing straight off the disc, because every copy of this game I've had so far is 1.00 straight off the disc. So either when they caught on to it, they may have had the 1.02 on the disc originally, but then before they released it, they could have been like, all right, let's just default it to like the 1.0 because it didn't have as many issues. But on the other hand, it'd be kind of hard to believe, because I think to do that, they would have to even if the game is completely done and it's gold, they would have to print it on new discs again, if I'm correct on that. And I'm pretty sure they already had like thousands and thousands or millions of copies of it already. So I'm assuming what they did is, whenever they gave these reviewers review copies of the game, they had also given them the 1.02 update to download, probably, because I don't even think they even had discs yet. So I think when they downloaded it, it downloaded the 1.02 update with it. But if any of them did receive a hard copy, they would have had to have obviously updated the game. Now, if they would have just played it from the disc with no updates, and it's the 1.00 update, they would have probably had a better experience, because the only difference that I can tell, realistically, I mean, there's a few little minor things, you know, but the stuttering issue is just basically gone when you update fully update the game. But that's not that big of an issue for me. People don't remember what it was like playing these previous games, you know, like 360, PS3, as some of the previous systems, man. I mean, the 360 and PS3, like, look at it this way. The PS2 was like 60 FPS on like a lot of the games. Like almost every game was 60 FPS. And then the PS3 came out, the 360 came out. They were 30 FPS, but the problem is they could barely do 30 FPS. While the PS4 and Xbox One, when they came out, they could pretty much do 30 FPS just fine, but they would have issues doing like 60 FPS, which is understandable because it's like, well, each system that comes out like that, it's like, okay, so the PS2 was 60 FPS, but then they like downgraded it, but upgraded the visuals, but went to 30 FPS, right, and had problems even holding 30. Then they went to like the PS4 and original Xbox, in hopes to do 60 FPS on some stuff, which they did, and they did flawlessly well. And I know I said flawlessly, but some games, believe it or not, even on the base system, are still 60 FPS, and they hold 60 pretty well. So it's, one of those things where it's like, well, most of these games are 30 FPS. So, and they don't normally have real bad issues keeping 30 FPS, like on the PS4 and Xbox One, but, the problem with Xbox, though, is there's no real game preservation anymore, because the only way you get real game preservation is if you get an Xbox 360 that does not have a newer update on it, or if you go out and buy an original Xbox that I'm assuming, I don't think you had to update those. I don't remember having to update those at all. But, yeah, so you would have to get an Xbox 360 that don't have a newer update to where you could still create an offline Player One account, and then that one, and then, like, the original Xboxes. That is your game preservation when it comes to Xbox consoles. The Xbox One, there's no actual game preservation. Series consoles, there's no game preservation. It's set up like a PC. You'd need internet for everything. You can't even start up the system without freaking requiring internet. It kind of sucks. Like, see, as I'm doing right now, playing this game with 0 updates, you can't do that on Xbox One or any of the series consoles, period. And with the Xbox 360, as long as you got one without the newer update, and you can make a, offline Player One account type of deal, those games are on a disc, you play them straight from a disc, all that type of stuff, right? But with Xbox One and series consoles, for the most part, a lot of games aren't even on the discs. A lot of them aren't even on the discs. And, I have people ask me, like say Far Cry 6, because I would usually bring that one up, and everybody's like, okay, that's just one game. And, there's other games. It's not just that one, right? But I stopped using that one, and I only use one game. I only use one game for that explanation now, and I'll explain to you why, because you're going to love this, right? So, Disneyland Adventures 1, it is an Xbox exclusive. So it ain't as if they had to make it for a bunch of different systems, right? 2, after the update, it is a total of like 16 freaking gigabyte. 3, the minimum size Blu-ray disc is 25 gigabyte. 4, you still have to download the freaking game from the daggone Microsoft Store. Why? You couldn't fit it on a disc? It's 16 gig after the update. You couldn't fit it on a disc. That's 25 gigabyte. Really? Because that makes sense. Well, anyways, that's where the game preservation kind of sucks on Xbox, because hard copy and it's almost pointless for a hard copy on Xbox anymore, because one, if you start up a brand new Xbox, you have to have an email address. You have to update the system, which all requires internet. You cannot make an offline Player One account, or whatever you want to make it, right? You cannot do that. And that completely ruins the game preservation. Because if you have to have that stuff, what if you don't? Like, say, because they're going to shut the internet down on all these consoles eventually. I mean, look at the Xbox 360. You can't even. They literally took the Microsoft Store out of it. That there's no longer a store on the Xbox 360 anymore. And there for a while, the internet wasn't. They kind of did away with a lot of internet, like on the original what was it, the original Xbox, PS2 and stuff. They kind of did away with the internet on that, but then they brought it back, and then so on and so on. But the 360 and PS3, I mean, they will eventually do away with the internet. It's just a matter of how long, because the more crap that's running on those servers, if they're all connected to, like, say, the PS4, PS5, Xbox One series consoles, if they're all connected to those servers too, there are still people playing on those consoles, even online. So it is going to hurt the experience of, like, say, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles because of that reason, because you got to remember, it's going to be sucking a lot of that, stuff, like data and this, that, and the other, and speeds and whatever else it, requires, for their servers and everything. So, yeah, it's going to be a little messed up. And, they do end up stopping, like, with, I believe it's, PS4 and Xbox One, or at least Xbox One. They've pretty much stopped doing updates, period, for it whatsoever. Sony will still do, every once in a while, they'll still do an update on PS4, and it's mostly for security, or maybe a game has to have, like, an update, like maybe Fortnite, or maybe something like, Call of Duty Warzone or something may need, like, they got, like, this particular update, but it has to have, like this certain crap or something, and Sony may have to do an update so it accepts that. But I don't think that's the case though, because if that was, Xbox would have to be doing updates too, which they don't on the Xbox Ones. Now I do like Xbox to an extent. So if I was a person that was guaranteed internet for life, didn't have to pay for it, always guaranteed it, yeah, I think it'd be perfectly fine to have an Xbox. You'd be perfectly fine, right? Because, the game preservation sucks unless you have internet. And the problem even then, here's the biggest problem with, say, digital as an example. You don't own it, for one. Two, they can remove it to where you cannot even play it even though you paid for it. So, as an example, I paid for some Call of Duty games. I can still play some of them on my PS4, but here's the problem. There's one or two of them I know for a fact that I paid for that for some reason they want me to buy again, whether it's the Xbox or the PlayStation, which I think is kind of fishy. But then, I also have UFC 3 that I bought on the PS4. I literally can't download it. I can't play it. Nothing. Why? Well, because guess what? It's not even in the store anymore either. Even though I bought it, I literally can't play it. So when you buy it, say, let's say let's say the game comes out tomorrow, right? And you're like, I want to buy a digital copy. Okay, you pay that $75 for a brand new game tomorrow, or you could pay $75 for the hard copy. Now, if you're on PS5 and you're on the 1200 model or before PS5, I think it's probably better to buy the hard copy because, well, if they remove it from the store or if they just don't allow you to play it anymore, the digital copy of it, you'll still have the hard copy. Because here's the thing, if I go out and get a hard copy of UFC 3, I can clearly play it, right? I can still freaking play it. But I can't play the digital copy, it won't let me. I can't download it or anything. So yeah, digital, not good. Hard copy, good. It's the best way to explain it. You can't, and see, that's where it also screws up the game preservation on Xbox because they have been focused on digital since the beginning of Xbox Ones. A lot of people never noticed it, but that's because, originally before the Xbox One came out, everybody was like, where's the disk drive? Because Microsoft was like, it don't have a disk drive. Everybody went stupid, and Microsoft said, fine, we'll put a disk drive in it. But they didn't really put a lot of the games on the discs, and a lot of the discs are just like a key that says that you own the game, so that when you plug the game in, you still have to download it from the Microsoft Store. See, if the Xbox 360 was set up like that, you wouldn't be able to play no game. There would be almost no games you'd be able to play. And the reason why is because, well, think about it. If they remove the store, how are you going to freaking play the game? Because when you plug the disc in and it downloads it from the store, if the store is no longer there, it can't download it from the store. Clearly. But, Microsoft still made it to where a lot of the games aren't on the disc. It's just a key on the disc stating that you own it. So whenever it does download from the Microsoft Store, it just says, yeah, it's legit. They bought a hard copy, but it's not actually on the disc. And, so they still sort of kept the Xbox One more or less as a digital console, because there are some games that are on the discs, because some of these developers just don't give a crap what any of them have to say. Like, I don't know, Rockstar as an example. Because Rockstar don't give a crap what any of them say. Yeah, they're like, we're putting it on a disc, whether you like it or not. So, they did. So if you go out and buy like Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox One, there's a reason why they have 2 discs to them. Now, Red Dead 2 even has 2 discs on the PS4, but that's because it's such a big game. But Grand Theft Auto 5, however, only has 1 disc on the PS4, I believe. I believe the PS4 copy only has 1 disc, and then the Xbox One copy, I believe it might have 2. No, I can't remember if that one has 2 discs or 1. I remember that the Xbox Series X copy of GTA 5, though, has 2 discs, and the PS5 version only has 1 disc. And the reason for that is because, well, even though it's an Xbox Series X with a 4K Blu-ray player, it still uses regular Blu-rays. So essentially, Microsoft did what Sony did with the PS4 Pro. So the PS4 Pro is like, just regular Blu-ray drive and not a 4K Blu-ray drive, but it has higher resolutions. And that's sort of what Microsoft did with the Series X. It's still running Blu-rays instead of 4K Blu-rays. And if you get a hard copy version of GTA 5 on PS5, the disc is 100 gigabyte. The game is fully on there. It's like 97 gigabyte, but it's fully on there. But the Xbox Series X version of it has 2 discs because of where it still uses the regular Blu-ray. Now, I can't remember if the Xbox One version has 2 discs or if it's just 1. It could still be 1, but even if it is just 1, it's on the disc because Rockstar don't care what any of them say. So yeah, certain games are on a disc, but certain ones ain't. Like UFC 5 is on the disc on Xbox Series X. But there's one thing I always try to point out to people. You ever wonder why the games are cheaper on Xbox Series X or Xbox consoles in general, other than the 360? Xbox One series consoles. You ever wonder why those games are cheaper than the PlayStation counterpart? Maybe because the games normally ain't on a disc, and maybe even if they are, the ones that are normally the ones that aren't the super cheap ones, except for UFC 5. That one, I think, is more of one of those, well, since you still need to have internet for everything to run, you got to have internet because you got to have an email, you got to have an actual Xbox Live account, all that stuff. That's just sort of what they did. They were just like, well, since you stopped having stuff. But certain games are still the same price, no matter which console you get it on. So normally those ones are on a disc and don't normally require any internet. But the system might still, the system will obviously still require internet. But the game itself may not. But clearly the system will, because, you do need an Xbox Live account, you do need an email and all that stuff, which all requires internet. And, then on top of that, like I said, you can't play these games without updates on the Xbox consoles, like Xbox One and Series consoles. Now, if you set up the Xbox, like I think I played Minecraft maybe without an update. There are certain games you can play without an update on Xbox One, but that's as long as you're not connected. Like, okay, so once you get the system set up and set up to a specific way of being able to do everything offline, because you have to be completely online first. And no, it's not as simple as going to the network settings and clicking offline, because that's just another way of saying, appearing offline essentially, because it's still technically connected to the internet. And once, because you gotta like make it your home Xbox, you gotta set it up to like auto signs in. You gotta set it up to where it like, I don't know. I think there's something else you gotta do, but there's like two or three things you gotta do to get it to where it actually does offline. Once you get it to that point, then you can disconnect it from the internet. And as long as you're signed into your account, certain games you can play without updates. But it's just not the same as like, say like PS4 or even PS5. Just slapping in a game and just not doing the update. And then just freaking playing it straight off the disc. Or, just turning off the internet or something, right? And then just, plug it in, install it, play it. Never requiring an update, never requiring like, an email, an actual, PlayStation Network account, this, that, and the other. And, that's where Nintendo is actually starting to screw up, because Nintendo, with the Nintendo Switch 2, is starting to screw up because they're going towards how Xbox is doing it. And if you go look at like the Nintendo Switch comments, like on all these different social medias, dude, people are really ripping into Nintendo about it.
Long time no see.
And they're not happy
How you
whatsoever.
doing?
Because it ruins the game preservation, because a lot of games are going to be like how it is on Xbox, where they're not actually on the cartridge, and it's just going to be a key. And then there's a lot of them that aren't even going to have a cartridge. It's just going to have basically like a key, so you can download it from the friggin' store. So, it's kind of starting to do what Xbox is doing. And I know some pretty die-hard friggin' Nintendo people, man. And I'm telling you right now, they're like, I know this one guy, he's just such a die-hard Nintendo fan. And he was going to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2 until he found out all that stuff. And then he's like, nope. He's just going to stick with the Nintendo Switch 1. He's not even going to get a Switch 2. And a lot of Nintendo fans are going to do the same thing, because the one thing that Nintendo and PlayStation have always been good at is game preservation. And when you start doing away with that, people that are really big fans of you guys start kind of going elsewhere, or sticking to the older consoles. So then, every time you release new crap, everybody's just like, what's that again? What happened? There was something else released? What? I don't know. They don't find out until they go to the store and they see some, like as an example, after the Nintendo Switch 2, if the Nintendo Switch, say, 3 is going to be the same way, people aren't even going to watch the crap. They're not even going to, they're not going to know anything about it until they walk into the store and see an actual Nintendo Switch 3 at that point. And at that point, it's like, no, I still got my Nintendo Switch 1 because of the game preservation, where I could plug the cartridge in and, play the frickin' game off the frickin' cartridge, So, yeah. And I know there's a lot of people that like digital, but I'm telling you right now, don't like digital. You don't own it. You're paying the same price, if not more, and you don't own it, for one. And two, they could take it from you at any point of it being on there, to where you literally can't play it ever again. So, but if you buy a hard copy game, well, I got Days Gone, and look how good of a game it is. It's a great game, right? But the thing is it's called game preservation. Yeah, I'm connected to the internet, but every time I start up this game and I do the broadcast on this game, I have to delete the update so it doesn't actually do the update, right? So that way I can still continue streaming it without the updates. Yeah, you don't get options like that on freaking Xbox, clearly, but it's still part of game preservation. Like if I wasn't streaming this game, right, and I was just, say I was just doing an offline account, right, it was just like player one account, whatever, I could still play it with no updates because if I turn the internet off, I could plug it in, install it, still play it, never even have to worry about an update trying to pop up. But, yeah. I'm just pointing out the obvious, but game preservation means a lot to gamers. And, I know a lot of these, with like Microsoft and freaking Nintendo now, they're trying to point more towards these digital people, and it's only a small market of people. A lot of freaking people still, first of all, like to own their crap, and even Ubisoft confirmed that because they're like, these subscription-based things are not going to work until people can come to terms with not owning their games. The only one that works is on Xbox, and that's it's not going to work much longer if they keep raising the frickin' price on it, because eventually people are going to be like, nah, I ain't paying that, no. And they'll want to just go buy like a hard copy at that point, but, the thing about it is, though, is a lot of people still want game preservation. And like I said, Ubisoft even confirmed it because, when you're sitting there saying digital and these, like, game services like, Xbox Game Pass, outside of, like, Xbox Game Pass, these services don't work. Like EA, I think, shut down one. I think Ubisoft shut down one of theirs, or, this, that, and the other. I mean, a lot of these companies have been shutting down their freaking crap like that, those, subscription-based services. And it's because people want to own their stuff. You don't own digital. You're paying hundreds of dollars, and you don't even own it. That's like buying a car, paying thousands of dollars for a car and not even owning it. And they could come and take it at any point that they want to. Even though it's completely paid off, somebody else could come and take it whenever they want to. And there ain't nothing you can say, do, or nothing about it. And it's the same thing with like a house or anything. So, yeah, there's that. But anyways, I know I've been ranting on for a minute, but we're going to go ahead and get back into the game. But if you did enjoy all that, thank you. If you did want to skip all that part, you could skip that part. I don't mind. And then you just skip a little bit of it and then get back to the game. So, but alrighty, well, I just want to thank you guys for whoever actually, just listened to all that, and but for anybody that just wants to skip it, like I said, that's okay. And thank you even still for the people who do skip that part. Thank you for still watching, my videos and live streams and everything. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back into here. Thanks for listening to me rant on, and yeah, here we go.
Wait a sec, I got it. You got what you need?
Yep, everything I could think of. Let's go.
Well, you sound pretty excited.
It's the candle, Deke.
What?
The old saying, it's better to light one candle than curse the darkness. We've spent the last 2 years doing a whole lot of cursing. We get the lights on at last leg, and that's lighting
only one problem with that.
And what's that, Deke?
Lights attract all kinds of nasty bugs, and they make it way easier for him to find you. Hey, we're here.
Shit! Swarmers. I was hoping it was gonna be clear.
Nah, why would we have that kind of luck? Okay.
Damn it!
Okay, I think that's all of them.
Crap. Okay, to fix this thing, I gotta climb up there.
Have you done this before?
Nope, but there's a first time for everything, right?
Right.
Okay, come on, boost me up. All right, ready?
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
If you fall, it ain't like I can catch you.
Gee, thanks! I'll try to keep that in mind. Shit! Newt!
I got him.
Dick!
Trying. If you fall, it ain't like I can catch you.
Gee, thanks! I'll try to keep that in mind.
Everywhere. Hold on. Come on, come on, come on.
There we go.
I see him.
All done. I'm coming down.
Well, God damn it.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come out and do this again sometime.
Yeah, I'll talk to Skizzo about getting some barbed wire around this. It'll keep the newts off.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of shit job he likes to give me.
You'll live. Come on, I gotta check something else out.
So, your old lady?
Okay, how the hell did...
It's not hard to put two and two together, Deke. How you lost her at that refugee camp. The one north of Belknap. And then the last few weeks, we've seen Nero choppers in the air, and you were hoping for what? A miracle? That she was with them somehow?
Something like that.
But she's not.
No.
So, your old lady?
Okay, how the hell did...
It's not hard to put two and two together, Deke. How you lost her at that refugee camp. The one north of Belknap. And in the last few weeks, we've seen Nero choppers in the air, and you were hoping for what? A miracle? That she was with them somehow?
Something like that.
But she's not.
No.
I'm sorry.
Look, it's not a big deal, so let's just drop it.
Okay.
Wow, word gets around.
I'm almost ready. Power to the whole resort is routed through here. I pulled the breaker a week ago so it wouldn't short out. Okay. Ready when you are.
All right. Let's listen up. Okay. Now, the past few months have been tough. Not gonna deny that. We're low on food, medicine, hell. Pretty much everything. But we got one thing in spades. And without that, everything else is meaningless. That one thing is trust. Now, a while ago, we had some more drifters ride into camp. Some of you said kick them out. We ain't got enough for ourselves. Some of you said we can't trust them. Tonight is proof of what I've been saying all along. We need everyone. I mean everyone who is willing to be here, who is willing to work, who is willing to help us rebuild. Right on, man. Now, for the past couple of months, Ricky has been doing just that. But she can't do it alone. She needs help. Tonight is gonna happen because we welcomed a drifter into our camp. And we allowed him to earn our trust. Tonight, we take one more step out of the darkness. Come here, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Hey, you two, I got a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, that's your cue.
Good
Whoa,
night.
hey. What happened?
That's nothing.
Come on, let's go see Addie.
So the woman in the photo, that was her?
That was my wife, yeah.
Dumb question. I'm sorry, Deke.
No, don't be. She's been dead a long time.
Still, it can't be easy to get your hopes up like that, only to... I don't know. I wish there was something I could do.
Well, there is.
What?
Stop talking about it.
Okay.
Addie? Addie! Oh, the lights are up.
I don't think she's here.
Addie, you here? Okay, well, strip.
Strip what?
Take your shirt off, sit on the table.
Hey, look, it's nothing.
Deacon, do you want an infection? Mm-hmm. I may be an engineer, Deke, but that does not mean that I don't know how to treat a cut.
Yeah, I never would have guessed the way that you were caressing those switches and circuits or whatever the hell you were doing.
All right, this might hurt. Just a little bit. Ready?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Really?
No, why don't you just wait for Addie to come back, huh?
Shh. Hang on. There. It's done. Big baby.
So I told you it was nothing.
Yeah, you did. Oh, wow. You really have been at war.
Yeah, more than one.
Shit, that's right. Where was this one? Afghanistan or the MC or after?
I don't remember.
What about this one?
Ricky, I'm not sure that, well, I heard that Addie doesn't really like, people messing around in her business.
Yeah, I heard that too. What about this one?
Ricky.
Deke, I'm not married. Okay. Why don't you come back tomorrow and see Addie, and she's gonna tell you how great of a job I did.
Ricky,
Deke, it's fine. You're welcome. Hey, Deacon? Maybe one day, stop and light a candle. It can get pretty dark and cold out there.
Addie.
Hey, Deacon, how can I help you?
It's Boozer.
Is he okay?
Yeah, not well. He's not. He's not sick or anything. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I told you that it was going to be a big adjustment.
Do you have any drugs around here? Like antidepressants, something like that?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait. I heard about what happened. How we went after those guys who were killing those dogs.
Yeah, and he nearly got us killed while doing it.
Well, maybe that's your answer.
Nearly getting us killed while doing it?
Look, what does William love so much that he'd be willing to risk his own life? He doesn't need something to heal his body. He needs something to heal his soul.
I got it. Thanks, Eddie.
Two Dog's back.
What? Where the hell is he?
He took off when he saw me. Jeremy followed him. I know. I tried to stop him.
Everybody's gotta do
Jesus, where, Ricky?
Jeremy tracked him to the old sawmill, said Two Dog looked like he was holed up in the abandoned Nero camp.
Okay, I'll take care of him.
I need you to bring back his knife.
Wait, you need proof? Jesus. Right. Oh, fine. Great, whatever you say.
Don't let him get away, Deke. Who knows how many bodies are buried out there?
Yeah, I got this.
Deacon St. John, how have you been?
Start with this.
Buzz, how you doing?
See you around.
First one. How does it work?
Get the gate.
Last day.
Alki, do you read me? Alki, come in. Damn it. Someone go out and find him. Check the dig site.
How's it going, Tucker? Sure as hell don't miss your shit.
Hey, Deacon, you there?
Yeah, Hattie.
Check this out. One of my patients overheard us. They might know where you can find a healthy dog.
Okay, I'm listening.
There's a small resort south of Sherman's camp. A bunch of cabins in the woods. You know the one I mean?
No.
Okay, it's off Santiam Highway. The same road you take to the old sawmill. And Ricky said she rode with you over there to see the horde? Yeah. The day you guys were gone all day. To the dam.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know where you mean. I'm at the sawmill, going after him.
Be careful, Deacon. Remember, there's
There's a big fucking horde here? Yeah, I remember. Thanks, Deacon out. All right, Two Dog, where you hiding? Another mobile medical unit. Oh, gotta find a way inside. See if there's another engine. Come on, you son of a bitch. Could make something out of this. Good. Here it is. There it is.
Two Dog, you got nowhere to run, brother!
Okay. That's it. Yeah, now we're in business. All right, here we go. Micro recorder, huh? Neuro injector, just what the doctor ordered. Here goes nothing. That wasn't so bad, now was it? Ah, you murdering son of a bitch. Here we go. Guess you won't be turning in any more human ears as bounties, will ya? Okay, now we just gotta head back to Ricky.
Hey, Deke, you there?
Yeah, Hattie.
Check this out. One of my patients overheard us. They might know where you can find a healthy dog.
Okay, I'm listening.
There's a small resort south of Sherman's camp. A bunch of cabins in the woods. You know the one I mean?
No.
Okay, it's off Santiam Highway. The same road you take to the old sawmill. And Ricky said she rode with you over there to see the horde? Yeah. The day you guys were gone all day. To the dam.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
We got someone at the gate. Open up. I've seen him around.
Me and a couple of guys burned out in the nest a few weeks back. You know, creature nest. What do you call them? Female cat.
Hey, Deacon.
What do you call them?
Hey, Buzz. Here's his knife.
Thank God. When Joe Haslin found out he came back, he was terrified. I am so relieved.
Yeah, okay. See you, Ricky.
You here to buy something?
Buzz.
Got fuel, if you need it. I'll fill her up. Sure, all right. I'm here if you need me, man. Wait a sec, I got it.
Murdering drifter camp. I've seen these assholes before, and I gotta take them out. He's gotta be around here somewhere. Pooch. Where are you? Where would I live if I were a dog? Always like this. I can hear him. It's gotta be close. There he is. Good night. What do we got? It's not gonna open. Locked. Teeth marks. Yep, this has been chewed on. That did it. Hey, buddy. Hello. How's it going, pal? Come here. Hey, buddy. Hello. Come here, buddy. Hi. Hello. All right, come here. Come here. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, my God. All right, all right, all right. Fine. Have it your way. Okay. Hey.
What?
Wake up, you lazy bastard.
What's going on, man? What the hell's this? Shit. Oh, shit. Hey. Hey, how you doing, little guy? Hey, oh, easy, easy. Hey, hold on. Hold on, huh? Where'd you come from?
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Hey, you look a little thirsty. Let's get you some water. How's that sound?
Hey, Deke, you there? I need you to meet me.
I'm here, Skizzo. What do you want? I'm busy.
Look, I know you're trying to help the camp, and I'm trying to help you help the camp. Meet me at the back of the lodge. Skizzo out.
Damn it, Skizzo. This better be good. It's like Boozer says, I hear a bunk calling my name. I was ready to go back at it. You two were always so close. Yeah, you really were like a brother and sister.
was in my classroom when, you know, I taught English, Shamal Community College, to a bunch of stay-at-home moms in high school.
Good to see you, Deke.
Buzz.
Got fuel if you need it. All right, I got you. I'll be here if you need me.
I know him. Let him in.
Yeah, Booze Man, what's up?
I just wanted to say thanks for the dog.
It's no worries, brother. I mean, it followed me, you know? Wouldn't leave me alone. What was I supposed to do?
Hey, get down. Hey.
Here, let me count 'em.
Yeah, sure it followed you. Hey, I named him Jack.
Yeah, Jack would have loved that.
No, he wouldn't have, which is why I did it. All right, easy, boy. All right, enough. Okay, Deke, I gotta go. Boozer out.
Put a little spit shine on
You're
us.
welcome.
You want a cookie?
Bet you're here for your bike, right?
Hey, Zanny.
See ya. See ya. Get back.
Okay, so apparently I have to hop off here
back
for
to
now
work.
because
Didn't do anything.
apparently we got to do a few things real quick, and as long as my stream works again, I will be streaming again today because you know I still got other stuff to download anyway, so I'll just download it while I'm doing the other few things. But I will be back up and streaming today. Let's see, what time is it now? We'll say, I don't know, probably 8 to 9 o'clock maybe, Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a big fat thumbs up. Maybe subscribe. If you do, please turn your post notifications on. Make sure to set them to all. Thanks for watching. Have a great, blessed day. And I'm sorry about my rude girlfriend. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a great, blessed day. And I'll catch you later.